While I've lived in the United States my entire life, one thing that I'm always amazed by is the diversity of this country, whether it's the people or the landscape. I mean, it is beautiful. And the last time we were with Kia, they gave us an exclusive look in New York City of the totally redesigned Sportage. Well, today they've got us in a little bit of a different environment. I'm Chris from AutoAcademics, and Kia invited us to beautiful Palm Springs, California to experience the hybrid version of the Sportage as well as the more off-road focused X Pro trim. While I had never been here before, I'd heard a bit about Palm Springs over the years from family members who had visited. It's a beautiful man-made oasis surrounded by an arid mountainous landscape. This particular day, it was a perfect 86 degrees with little to no humidity while the sun was up, and it would cool down into the 60s at night. But the locals told me temps of 115 plus were right around the corner. We began our day in the hybrid, which is what I thought I'd receive the most information about during our hour-plus trek up into the mountains. But that wasn't so. Believe it or not, I gained most of my knowledge once we left the pavement, but I'll get to that shortly. Also, be sure to check out our initial coverage of the Sportage for all the usual details and specs at the link in the description below. Alright, I know I told you to check out our previous coverage of the Sportage if you wanted to know more of the actual details of this car, such as things you might find on the interior. But this is something that even I didn't realize it had until I spent a little bit more time with the car. Check this out. You know, I'm always talking about controls and having physical buttons on the car, on the dashboard, to make it a little simpler to navigate with some things. So what they've done here is, right now it's set up where you've got your volume knob for the radio as well as your tuning knob, but then with the press of a button, it changes to climate control. Now those exact same buttons and dials do give you your temperature controls for your driver and passenger. It's pretty cool. The 1.6 liter gas direct injection engine, 44 kilowatt permanent magnet electric motor, and 6-speed auto transmission worked well around town. When configured with all-wheel drive, the combination is rated at 38 miles per gallon by the EPA, 44 if you get front-wheel drive, and it can tow up to 2,000 pounds. I have to admit, this full-featured SX Prestige trim we were driving felt perfect. Well, almost. You see, the cabin was quiet, the seats were comfortable, and the Harman Kardon stereo sounded lovely. But the steep winding roads that we navigated to our lofty destination kept the 227 horsepower honest in its work. It's obvious that Kia focused more on fuel economy than power with this new Sportage. And with fuel prices like that, I don't think you'll complain. The steering was responsive, and while some of the roads were narrow and likely better suited for something more performance-oriented, the Sportage's suspension and size kept me confident. Also, this car has some specially calibrated software for the all-wheel drive system, so that should help a bit when you go off-road. Speaking of which, let's see how well it does. Alright, so we are here in the X Pro Prestige model of the Kia Sportage.
Okay, we'll speed up just a little bit.
And you can hear my spotter, or I guess our guide in the front car, you know, giving a little bit of instruction. But we're gonna just take a brief drive to see some of the soft roading capabilities that this Sportage has. It's rather dusty and dirty out here. Again, we're here in Palm Springs at an off-road course. I'm not expecting anything too ridiculously hardcore, but it should be pretty decent for a vehicle like this. This does have the optional BF Goodrich tires that come on the X Pro model, so you know, you get a little extra traction. And overall, in contrast to the hybrid that we were in earlier today for our on-road driving segment, this X Pro, you know, it should be it should be able to give you a little fun capability for when you have maybe some of those lighter off-road excursions.
Okay, just coming to a quick pause here. Everyone would already have their all-wheel drive lock button pressed, and that shows up in green at the top of the tachometer. We
are about to crest this hill now, and I gotta say, it's pretty steep. If I were by myself, I'd probably think carefully about you know, how I attack this in my own vehicle, my personal vehicle. But with Kia today in the Sportage, we're gonna try it out. So we're gonna go on up this hill. It's pretty steep. I'm going to stop here. It's going to represent the hill hold. All right, it held it pretty decent on this hill. As you can see, I'm looking at sky. Ooh.
You're good. Plenty clear.
Woo! Yeah. It's hard to see, but we made it. And now we've got some off camber, which is pretty cool. Got a little lean going here. So this off camber hill here is pretty challenging, but nice steady throttle, and it makes it up pretty easily. I'm actually kind of impressed by that. So I assume for this now, this dropping down this hill, we should be using the hill descent control. I'm going to use it. This is a pretty steep hill here. And so I'm going to give it a try. Wow, that vehicle is tipping. Oh my gosh.
Straighten the wheel now, straighten the steering wheel. Great, nice job.
That was crazy. Okay, here we go. This is nuts. I've got a wheel off the ground. I've got a wheel off the ground.
Unwind the wheel.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That was fun. I would not do that in my own car.
A little tighter, please, so there's room for the last two.
Now a little bit of rough road here. Suspension's absorbing it nicely. No creaks or rattles or anything like that. So this example is for if you're doing, like, you know, you come across maybe a creek crossing or something like that. And I've got to say, that lead car has at least one wheel significantly up in the air, and the all-wheel drive system though is getting it through. Yes. Let me see if I can get my camera.
As we enter that one, that's the deep one, the deepest of the crossings that we do.
All right, so this is a nice deep one. We should be able to get a wheel up in the air again. And there we go. Nice and easy. Steady throttle. Pulls right through. Not too shabby. Now this is pretty cool. I don't know if you're gonna catch it on that camera there, but as I get to this crest up here, I can't see anything, but I can use the camera to get an idea of what it looks like down below. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm seeing where the trail is, and now I can just follow it down over. Not bad. It's nice tech that typically is used for parking maneuvers, making sure that you don't hit your bumper on a curb or something like that. But in this case, it comes in handy as well for some light off-roading. And we know that there are some fancier off-road cars, more hardcore, more capable off-road vehicles that use their camera systems for that. But you know, it's nice that a vehicle like this Sportage has technology like that as well that you can use if you need it. Now we can also use these cameras to show where to show the sides of the vehicle, where the tires are. And if you look closely, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera, but you can see not only the the wheels themselves as they're turning and going through the cones, but you can also look at this camera and you can see where the cones are. So even though I personally can't see the cones out the windows, I can still see the cones and see where it is that I need to go on the camera. So this is really tight here. I'm gonna see if I can clear it without hitting the cone, and I'm looking at the camera and I did.
Awesome. Car number 2. I can see that was tedious for a moment, but you look at your camera and you knew you had to clear it.
Yep. See, he's talking about me. I'm car number 2. Oh man. All right, we got some more dirt here. I'm going to turn off traction control because that will be way more fun.
Getting a little bit bumpy down there in the middle.
All right, here we go. Nice, nice, nice. It's always fun to slide a car around. At the end of the day, this is not a hardcore crossover SUV. It is not. But I have to say that it's very capable for what most people would use it for. As I mentioned earlier, some of these little exercises today I would not try in a vehicle that I owned myself, especially with one of these. You know, if I had something more hardcore, then yes, but like if it was a standard typical crossover vehicle, I wouldn't try a lot of that stuff. And so, you know, it's nice to see though that a vehicle like this Kia Sportage with the X Pro package, it is capable enough to be able to go through there and handle, you know, those big hill climbs and the hill descents and even all of the off-camber stuff and lifting wheels off of the ground, all of that. It was able to handle that. Not bad, Kia.
So there you have it, guys. An updated look at the totally redesigned 2023 Kia Sportage. Now, this hybrid version starts at a little over $27,000 and should go on sale sometime the beginning of this summer. There's also rumored to be the plug-in hybrid version coming too, so keep an eye out for both of those if you're interested. Now, as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss what we have coming up next. I'm Chris from AutoAcademics. Thanks for watching.